Hello and welcome to episode 11 of Real Estate TV. We've done 11 of these now. I think I've been doing them for 2 weeks, which I reckon is a pretty fair effort. I am absolutely having a ball putting them out for you. Some feedback would be great. People haven't jumped down in the comments yet, which either means you hate it or you love it so much that you have no feedback. Either way, just say something because I'm not sure which way it's going at this point. If you think it needs to be better in terms of production quality, if you're sick of watching me do that and have headphones in my ear, let me know. And if you are really happy and you like the authenticity, let me know as well. I want to get a gauge on what you guys want, because at the end of the day, if you like it, you'll watch it. If you won't, you won't. So what we're going to talk about today is the timeline of the construction process if you're doing a house and land package. I hope you enjoy.
Rightio guys, I guess the most important place to start is there are actually a couple of different ways that you can buy land. So you can be buying titled land or untitled land. And what that means is, the best way of describing that is before a block of land is a block of land, there's a good chance it's a paddock. So a developer's bought, let's call it 20 acres, and he's subdividing that off into 300 lots, let's say. But at the moment, the paddocks are on one title, so it's one block of land. So the developer will construct the roads, put in the services, and lay out each lot, and then apply to the council for permission to change the title from being one lot to 200 or 300 lots, or however big the project is. Now that takes time. So what a lot of people like to do is actually buy untitled land with the plan that they will build on it in the future. And the reason that they do that is pretty simple. It actually buys them time. So if you had a look in the episode that I did yesterday, it was about townhouses, and I talked about townhouses are a great idea because you can put down your deposit and freeze the market and save for that 2-year period. Now you can't do that through the construction process when you're building a home, but you can do it while the land's waiting to be titled, and you can't start construction on a block of land until it's titled and it's in your name. So basically, there's some land down the road in Officer at the moment for sale, and off the top of my head, it titles in about November of next year. So if I were to be interested in buying that block of land, the way I'd go about it is I'd put down my deposit. Usually it's 5 or 10%. In this case, the developer actually has a promotion running, which means that it's a $10,000 deposit, which is a pretty good deal. And that's it really. You put your $10,000 deposit down and you wait until November of next year. Now in that time you can clean up your finances and you can save a little bit more. So it's a really good move if you maybe aren't ready to buy yet. A lot of people come in and have a chat with me and say they're probably looking at doing something in 6 or 7 months because they think that they'll be able to outsave the market. You just can't. We've been over that a million times now. You cannot outsave the market, especially in this day and age. Maybe 20 years ago, not the case anymore. But it's a good way to go about it, really. And it forces you to do something as well. If you really do want to buy property, and maybe you have been putting it off because, let's face it, it can be a bit scary. I mean, there's tons of things that you don't know about. That's why I'm putting this show out, to be honest with you. And sometimes it might just be easier to live in your parents' house or rent. It's a good way to get you started without having to engage finances. So in that period, obviously you're not paying off a mortgage because you don't own the block yet. So once the block of land's titled, then you're probably talking about 14 days after that point, you settle. Now settlement is pretty simple. It's just when the name of the block is transferred from the vendor, in this case it's the developer, to you, the purchaser. And at that point you can start building. So typically your construction guys won't be able to have a permit until the block of land is in your name. You can't apply for a permit on a block of land that you don't own. So you're probably talking at least a couple of weeks after settlement before you're on site, depending on how organised your builder is. And then that's the point at which you're funding everything. So once you settle, you're paying off a mortgage, and you're paying back a little bit more each time, depending on where your construction is at. So obviously when the slab's down, the bank has spent less money, so your repayments are going to be lower. But then when they put the frame up, then you're paying based on a slab and a frame, if that makes sense, and you can sort of understand how the rest is going to go. So you are paying off something while you're building, unless you do a townhouse, which is a 1090 structure. Now that's why those townhouses have worked for a lot of people in the past, but it's different horses for different courses, really. I mean, a block of land is going to work really well for some people. Some people love the idea of having the flexibility to change designs and have a bigger scope of designs to work with. I currently work for a builder that has 168 different designs, to give you a flavour. But when I was selling townhouses, we had 4 plans, and 2 of them were just the reverse of one plan. So really we only had 2 plans, and to be honest with you, we had 56 of the same plan, and what's the rest of that? 3 of the other plan. So really, I only had 1 plan. So that is why different people do different things, obviously, and I mean, you and your gut already know which way you'd rather go, let's be honest here. Some people just wouldn't even consider a townhouse. Some people absolutely love the idea of having the flexibility to build and put in that beautiful butler's pantry and design something modern, and some people just want to renovate. So it is different horses for different courses, of course, like anything. What other advice is there? If you're looking at a titled block of land, so that's a block of land that's already ready to go, the roads are in, it's no longer a paddock, it is titled, which is common. It is common in metropolitan Melbourne. A lot of investors buy with that 18-month timeline, and then when it gets close to title, they they sell the block on. And the reason that they do that is just capital growth, really. It's an investment thing. So you can get titled land, but it's super common out in the sticks, out in regional areas. And my advice to you would be liaise with your builder and work out how long their office process takes and negotiate for a settlement on the block of land that means that you can come out of the gate at the right time. So I'll explain that a little bit better. So the way it works with your builder, typically, now this is going to vary based on different builders, but this is what I've seen most commonly be the process. You sit down with a sales guy and you have a chat about what you want to do. That's when you get really, really creative and you design the house, essentially. And then he gets you to a new home estimate or a quote stage and signs off the quote. You then go into the office of the construction company, typically. Now again, this varies based on each builder, of course. These are just the ones that I've worked for in the past. And then the office design the house specifically for the site. So they come up with a footing design and they look at the levels on the block and they get into super, super specific. So the sales guy hasn't designed the house by no means. He's gotten your options ticked, essentially, and helped you out with a bit of a discount in theory. But that process can take sometimes 2 or 3 months, depending on the builder, sometimes 4 weeks, sometimes urgent contracts are available, and I'm sure there are extreme cases where builders take 5 months for whatever reason, big house, slow builder, who knows. My advice would be asking your builder how long that process is going to take, the back office process will take, and negotiating with the vendor so that you can settle on the block the week before you need to go for a permit. So there's no sense in paying a mortgage off on a block for 2 or 3 months that you're not building on. But you do need to own the block in order for you to obtain permit. Apply for a permit from the council. So that's that end date, really. Now, the builder might get it wrong, of course. Things come up and timelines get thrown off. Things happen quicker, things happen slower. People are human being, just have a big grace for that, of course. And but yeah, that's my advice, really, is don't piss away 3 months of mortgage repayments on a block of land that you're not building on. Be smart about it.
Well, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please do me a favour. Please subscribe. It means that I can deliver it to you on the day of air rather than having to run Facebook ads, which is what I'm doing right now. So it's actually costing me some cash to tell you guys about the new episode. So please subscribe. It means I can keep you updated. At the end of the day, I'm putting these out to try and help you as best I can. So subscribe. If you've got a kid or a friend that's looking at buying a house and they have no idea what they're doing, or they're terrified out of their brain, please pass this series along. This was designed for them. This was, it's free, it doesn't make me any money, and I only have like 22 subscribers at this point, so YouTube are not paying me anything, and at the end of the day, that's really not what it's about at all. I'm putting this out there because I enjoy helping people in the office, and I thought I could help people on a macro scale by putting it on YouTube for free. I hope you enjoy, guys. See you next time.